So our game has started, and our fish and our shark are going to appear randomly. The yellow fish is going to appear the most commonly, and then the blue fish the next most common, and the pink fish next. Right? So the pink will be the rarest, and it'll be worth the most. And then the shark will also appear from time to time, and he will be like an enemy that you need to, that can cause you to lose the game. So first we're going to start with the yellowfish, and it's kind of a complicated process to get him to appear on the left side of the screen and swim to the right, and appear on the the left side of the screen here and swim to the right, and appear on the right side of the screen and swim to the left. So we're going to break this up into pieces, and the first piece is to make the yellowfish appear at random locations at random times on the screen once the game starts. So what we need to start with is what's going to be the event that's going to cause this to start to happen. And the event could be when backdrop switches to game screen. Right, this is the game screen, and that's when the game starts. It's going to switch to that backdrop, and we want the yellowfish to appear forever, right? To just start popping up. So we can go to control and say forever. We want it to be random at random times. So that means we can put a wait in here, right? But not just wait, but also under operators, we can pick random. So let's go ahead and grab that. And let's say pick random from 1 second to 3 seconds, since this fish is going to be fairly common. And after waiting a certain amount of time, what we're going to do is create a clone of the yellowfish. So what we need to do now is say when I start as clone. Okay, and you want to remember that the yellowfish starts out hidden. So when he starts as clone, he's going to be hidden. So we need to start off by showing him. And not only do we show him, but we want him to appear at random locations on the screen. And so we can go here to motion and say go to XY. Right? But not go to just a static XY, right? Not the same XY every time. We want him to appear at random X's and random Y locations. So we need to use one of these operators again, where you pick a random number. So we can come over here to operators, pick a random for X, and pick a random for Y. Okay. Now we got to think about, well, what should our random range be for the X? Well, if you're not aware, this screen is split into a Y-axis is up and down, the middle, and an X-axis is left to right. And the center of the screen is 0, 0, meaning X is 0 and Y is 0. Right? If you could read here the X and Y, this is the X and Y location of my cursor. So the closer I get to the center of the screen, the closer the X and Y get to 0, 0. And if I move to the left, the X goes down to negative 240. I move to the right, it goes up to positive 240. And the Y goes up to 180. And if I go down, it goes down to negative 180. Okay, so those are the ranges we're going to use. Okay, so for the X, it's going to be negative 240 on one side and 240 on the other side. And for the Y, it's going to be negative 180, and it's going to go to positive 180. And now we should have yellowfish appearing around the screen. Yellowfish, yellowfish. Now we have yellowfish appearing on the screen. Okay, and so as you're programming and testing, all the background music might be a little bit bothersome or distracting. So what you can do is go to the stage, and you can go to the sound tab, and you could say set volume. Right, so right here I could say set volume to 10%, and then you won't even really hear it anymore. And maybe also the bubbles are a little bit too loud, so I could set that down to 50. And of course, when you're finished, you can come back here and set the sound to a higher level, so it's enjoyable when you play the game.